Hey everyone, it's Friday again. You know what that means. It's time for another Foam Friday. My name is Yuki, and today we're going to be talking about the Roughcut 2x4 and, does it say it on here? Yes. The barrel brake IX2. Is it IX or is it 9? Oh well. The barrel brake versus the Roughcut. Both of these are Nerf's shotgun type weapons. So let's get on with this review. Okay, so as usual, we're going to be talking about the classic one first. This is the barrel brake IX2. As you can see, it is the Sonic edition. I really like the Sonic version of this because the plastic is see-through green. Green's my favorite color. But the see-through, it really lets you see how everything's working. You can see the springs, you can see all the other mechanisms in it. This one, it's fairly decent. Right here is how you release the barrel. So the barrel locks in, you release it, it pulls out, crank it back like an elephant gun, then it takes this kind of dart. It has to be the ones with the big fat heads. I have not found just a normal streamlined dart that works. I believe these are whistlers, are the official name. So they go right in here, like so. Then put it back down, snaps into place. And then push it back in, and that primes it. Then by pulling the trigger, it fires them. So, before I go on to the firing test, let's talk about the style of it. The handle grip of it is, it's not a pistol grip. Pistol grip, it would be down here. This is, I guess, a shotgun grip, you would call it. It's definitely the style of a sawed-off, if I'm not mistaken. But it feels really nice in your hands because when you're holding it like this, because, yeah, you can aim with it, but just holding it at your side, then you're just shooting. It's pretty nice. It does take quite a while to reload it. You have to, do all that with then adding in the darts and stuff. It takes a bit. And it came with a nice accessory that, of course, goes right here on the tactical rail. I don't know where it is, which upsets me because it's a really nice one. But it holds 8 other rounds, I think. So you can hold 8 darts here, 2 in your barrels, so 10 shots on you at all time. Okay, so moving on to the Roughcut. This is the Roughcut 2x4. It is the Elite series. It's a front loader instead of having to break down the barrel and stuff. So this one, the Elite darts it comes with just load right in the front of it. It holds a maximum of 8, as you can see. Let's just go ahead and get it loaded up. So it holds 8, and just like the Jolt, the Triad, from last week's video, this also has the that smart technology in it, so that if that one's not in there, it'll shoot this one and then that one. So it's useful. One problem with that though, it doesn't really show on the Triad whatsoever, but for this one, sometimes when you prime it, which this is how you prime it, it's got a pretty long draw length, and a lot of people don't like this grip. I don't mind it. It fits my hand rather nicely, but a lot of people don't like it for the slam fire, because slam firing it is pretty awkward. I don't slam fire though, so that doesn't really affect me much. But sometimes when you fire, let's fire straight up. Okay, that time it worked perfectly. Sometimes though, like it'll shoot the two and then like a third one will just like pop out because of the way that the chambers are basically linked. It can be bad. Like I guess if the darts are loose, in there, which of course none of these are right now, but if your darts are kind of worn out and they're loose, then while firing this, they might slide out, and that could be bad. So let me grab the other one real quick. Here we go. The comparison, their looks together, both of their grips are basically the same. They have that like outwards look on them. The Roughcut is a little bit thinner. So it's a lot smaller this way than the barrel break. So it's a little more comfortable in the hand, because also a little more ergonomic with this little like place for your fingers. So I like it, and then also because this is curved on this one, it really just like when you're holding it, it just feels better. It's thinner by, you know, about half, because now it's much more compressed than the really thick barrel break over here. The tactical rails are both on top. They both load different ways, and this one you have to press that down to release the barrel and all that stuff. This one, just shove them in the front. It's pretty nice. So let's move on to the firing test. Okay guys, today's firing test will once again be inside, firing at the sheet. I really didn't want to have to do this, but the weather's not that bad out. It's kind of chilly. However, shooting these guns outside, the little foam darts, you can't really see them on camera. So inside they're easier to see, and it's also kind of dark out because it's really cloudy. So first, barrel break. There are two ways of firing each of these guns. This first test is going to be just pulling the trigger all the way, shooting both of them. Okay, hold on while I reset. Okay, we are back now for the double shot of the Roughcut. I had to let my camera charge for a little while, so it's a bit dark outside now. Don't know if you can really tell the difference, but okay, here we go. Now we're going to do the single fire test, because both of the shotguns, if you lightly squeeze the trigger, it'll shoot one then the other. With the barrel break, it's a little bit harder, but let's see if we can get it done. Okay, so that took quite a few takes to get that to shoot one then the other. It is really difficult. It might just be mine, but I have heard many people say that it's a pain in the butt to shoot one then the other with the barrel break. Okay, now for the single fire with the Roughcut. It's a lot easier with this one. And there we go. One last test fire will be, again, for the Roughcut. And this will be showing off the slam fire of it. Slam fire, for those who don't know, is when you just hold the trigger down and you just prime it. And every time you prime it, every time you prime the gun, it'll launch. Of course, for the Roughcut, for the Slamfire, it does shoot 2 at a time. You cannot slam fire 1 at a time with the Roughcut. So, well, I guess technically if you emptied one entire side, but here we go. So here's the Slamfire. Oh. And that did really good. The Slamfire happens when you pull back forward. And as you can see, there's still one in the gun. There's probably a mod out for it by now, but I haven't opened this up. I don't really want to open up my elites because I don't know too much about them yet, but something in the air channels to like all to this side and one to this side. So there's 2 different air channels, one for each side, as far as I know. And I mean, shoots these two, shoots that one, because this one slid out when that one fired. Since the air channels are connected, it can cause slight mess ups, which is why I don't really use the Roughcut. I much prefer the strong arm, also just because I prefer the revolver look of it. So that's Slamfire. Okay guys, so between the barrel break and the Roughcut, I much prefer the Roughcut. The barrel break, the darts they're not the streamlines, so they do tend to go off from path very easily, while the Roughcut, the streamline and more powerful push to them, they tend to stay together a lot better, as you can see from the firing demo. The barrel break takes much longer to reload, and if you are running around a park or something playing with your friends and you only have 2 shots in here because you don't have any other darts, if you want to try just shooting one, it's going to be pretty difficult with this. So it's a safe bet that if you have this, you're shooting both rounds each time. But it was a great concept, and they really brought it home with the Roughcut, because the Roughcut, they gave it a slimmer, better looking design. It is like you cock it like that instead of having to pull it down and stuff. You just front loading. It's a lot better. The grip feels better, and in fact, yeah, they added another strap attachment spot. So the barrel break has this one down here, but the Roughcut has 2. So if you want to put the strap on here and here, then it can just hang down at your side. Personally, I use the Hailfire for that, but you know, it gives you options. So I prefer this one. I prefer the Roughcut 2x4 to the barrel break. Next week we are going to do the Hailfire. There you can see it. This is for next week. The Hailfire. It will not be a comparison video. Of course, there isn't a classic Hailfire. I don't think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're done with the comparisons. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them down below as a comment. Please subscribe for some more content. Thank you for watching. My name has been Yuki. Bye-bye.